If one of us gets a hole in one, at least it's filmed.
Yeah.
You know why the whole time Bryce would ride with me? Because he doesn't like me. So I want this on record.
Good putt. Oh, I good putted you. Oh!
All of these little kids that are running around, like I did time with most of their big homies.
The person that was there before me averaged about 30 level 2 threat assessments a year. They removed SROs. I averaged 90 to 110.
I'm Josh Lair. Thank you guys for joining us again for another episode of Cops and Convicts.
I'm Rodney Bamford, and we have a special guest today, a friend of mine from Kaiser PD, retired Sergeant Dan Kelly. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, used to be referred to as threat assessment, but now I think the buzz term is behavioral assessment. And Dan is an expert and has served on a behavioral assessment board. And he's going to talk about how that works, what it's about, and how it makes our community safer.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we're going to try and play some golf.
Did they change the name from threat assessment to behavioral health
They did.
assessment?
That was in the last
stupidity of the world we live in today. Because threat assessment sounds way better. It sounds cooler, and it's real.
Yeah, they changed it basically because they felt that threat assessment sounded too harsh and was labeling, so they changed it.
So I work in the behavioral health world, and we really need to be brought back to reality. Because I do behavioral health or am involved with people that do behavioral health assessments. And what you guys are doing and what behavioral health specialists are doing are not the same.
What's interesting about that, though, is one of the key components to the threat assessment is behavioral health.
Right. So when you're looking at the 6 dimensions of an assessment,
it's a lot of our referrals and all that are to behavioral health, getting supports there and all that. So it is tied. It's just I go about it a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah. So we're just trying to figure out the safety of the student involved and the school, the other students and staff. And even, well, I don't know if we get into it now or not. I don't know. But
We can. Let's hit a tee shot and we'll talk.
I lost it.
I lost it right in the sunshine. It was down the middle.
I got you. Yep, good one. Just down the right side there. I lost it.
You're towards the. I got you.
Got it?
You're not going to like where you're at, but
I never like where I'm at. To the left?
yeah, the rails are for the path.
Oh, okay.
You're
that's fine.
just short of those.
Okay. The flag was clear to the left.
I was there the other day, and they had the flag in the far right. It was kind of in the middle, and I was able to get to the front right corner of the green. So anyway, we're going to start talking about it. Let's start with what is threat assessment or behavioral assessment?
Well, probably the best place to start is kind of like the development of it. I was part of the original team back in 2000 when John Vendrell started this process. And so we kind of built it from there. And it's grown over the years. The purpose came about, or he thought, the best thing for it was coming about was because in the schools there was a lot of kids were getting suspended, right? And that became a big deal about kids being suspended and not having the opportunities and all that. So we came up with this process, and it's basically a holistic view of the student, their life, meaning family, school, social, and trying to figure out where we can kind of plug the holes of supports. And that's what we do. We have a level 1 assessment, we have a level 2 assessment, and I basically do the level 2s. And it's a much larger, in-depth questionnaire. And then we have a larger team that we work with that meets once a week. and it's between Salem, Kaiser schools, and then I covered Marion, Polk, and Yamhill schools. So I had 21 districts in those 3 counties. And if we had a case, we just bring the case to that team, tell them kind of what's going on, and then that team brainstorms and asks a lot of questions and then comes up with, well, maybe try this, try that. Let's encourage the family to get mental health supports, right? That kind of thing.
So you say a team, who would be a part of that team?
Yeah. So when we first started back in 2000, it was primarily John Vendrell, Officer Prawl from Kaiser, myself from Kaiser, one officer from Salem. We had a mental health specialist on the team, and we had parole and probation on the team too, because sometimes these kids are already on probation, so we want to get them involved as well. From there, it's grown. Our team that meets weekly, there's probably 20 people on that team, and it's anywhere from school employees, maybe principals, counselors. We've even got somebody on there from the bus barn, so for transportation, because that comes into questions at times too, is how is the student getting to school, and do we need to make certain changes to that? Numerous mental health covering primarily Polk and Yamhill, or Polk and Marion County. Parole and probation from both. We've got law enforcement at the table from Kaiser still and from Salem. And sometimes, Marion County will come in and sit on it. So it's an array of people.
Good.
So, yeah. But we gotta figure out where we're at here. We still winter rules?
Yes. It was right in here.
Here it is.
You got it? He's not going to have a fun shot. But he's probably the best golfer that we've had on our. Oh! Not a good way to start. Good shot.
I was thinking about going over, but
Yeah.
probably not a good idea. The second shot? Oh. All right, I'm gonna go out there. I'll meet you around there. I'll walk across
okay.
the bridge.
Right there.
Crushed your first shot. I'm in the bunker. Dan's used to be like a 1 or 2 handicap. He hasn't played much in the last several years. But that's a nice shot right there. Good shot, Dan.
So my second shot hit that tree, landed here on the cart path, draw, relief from the cart path. Now I'm hitting 3.
Get up.
Man, you got under it.
Oh, what grass doesn't help.
That's a great shot. Oh, Dan walking across the road.
Really? It's a
Well,
good-
might as well keep this club. Gonna need it again.
Dude, sports is in the Zoom, man.
These greens, I have a feeling yesterday they were really slow. They're going to be really fast today.
They are firm. That's how much mine jumped. They're firm. Yeah. No.
Yesterday it felt like I was putting on Velcro. They were so slow.
No. We're in the grain too.
Might be fast by the TV, but right now.
Come down. It's trying. You want it in or out, Rodney?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. It's a good roll.
Not
Getting your
high
way.
enough. Or enough speed.
good. Wow.
That was good.
You're good.
Triple, start off.
That's a way to start. Oh,
Burned it.
call that good if you want. There you go.
It's a little too firm on that first one.
So we kind of left off with who's on the board for these assessments. Some people, like a lot of cops that really don't know much about it, initially thought that this stuff was used to figure out the actual likelihood of a student making maybe a threat,
A poor choice and
making a poor choice, making a threat of violence or harm, and that the you folks would go in and kind of take reports from the investigating officers and then determine with the help of mental health professionals, okay, is this a credible threat?
And that's one of the things we're gauging. Is it credible? What's the history of the student? And, a lot of this came about, Columbine was a big one. That's the big thing, trying to prevent shootings, school shootings, that kind of thing. But it evolved to a lot more. There could be one-on-one threats. There could be a threat to the whole school itself. It could be a threat to a teacher. I've had several where it's a threat to the community, right? So, and also then we also look at possible threats in the home. So we've had students threatening to kill their parents, that kind of thing. So it covers a wide range or wide base. We don't dig so much into the threat itself. We have an overview of it, but then we dive into all the other stuff. You know, what's the social aspect of it? The home aspect, right? Do the parents need supports? So we look at, you know, how can we support them? What can we get them involved in? That kind of thing. So it's very broad, and it's really taken a look at the whole life of this whole family unit kind of thing. So
So yeah, it's more to it than just determining, okay, is there going to be a school shooting?
Right.
Okay, well, or is this student going to go in and beat up a couple other students because of some type of disagreement? It's more about, okay, this kid's in crisis or the family's in crisis. How can we help them and
That's
get them the
primary
resources that they need?
yeah, that's the primary thing. You know, we get a lot where we get weapons in the school, guns, knives, that kind of thing. So then we get law enforcement involved. Is where did that come from, right? How are these kids getting these things, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. What's making them want to do this?
yep. And the primary goal, our whole goal in this whole thing, is we want them in school for several reasons. One is, then we know where they're at. They're not roaming the streets, right?
Right.
So we've got eyes on, and plus, one of the first resources we try to put into place is, does this student have a positive connection within the school, with a teacher, a principal, whatever? If we can make that first connection, then it's pretty much downhill from there, or uphill.
Oh, I haven't had a good swing on this hole in a long time.
Well, that's right at it.
If it kicked forward, it might be close, but I
Yeah.
think it's uphill right there. So,
No, it did. Look at.
oh,
I was about to say down there, I said, well, if one of us gets a hole in one, at least it's filmed.
yeah.
Nice shot. There you go.
Now can I make a birdie putt?
Yeah, you do. Can't let that one go.
It's a place here where I see this community being able to heal. This is what healing looks like. You come here and you start.
Bite.
Sit. Not get any bite on it.
It's not bad. I didn't think you're gonna get much bite off that downhill lie and it being so wet.
No. Sit.
I got a little check on
Check
that.
up a little bit. Yeah.
Good roll.
Not as much as I thought.
That's good by me. I put that lab to work.
All right, Rodney.
I'm gonna see if, in honor of the Masters being the opening round today, I'm gonna see if I can master this 11th hole with a birdie.
Well, I already picked up the flag, so you got to get it in. So.
This should break a little right to left.
Oh,
No mastery today.
yeah, it was good though.
If I had a lab putter, I might have made that. Need to come up with some questions for you.
Yeah, I guess, leading off with what we were talking about before, what the purpose is, what are we trying to accomplish? It's providing these students with whatever it is they're struggling with, maybe it's peer relations, whatever it is. The whole goal is to support them. It's not to label them, it's not to judge them, it's just, how can we help? And, the old saying of, the community takes care of each other, however that
Yeah.
goes. That's kind of what this is, in a way. So that's why you got to kind of look at it. And yeah, and you said earlier, law enforcement just doesn't know or understand. And I agree with that. A lot of them don't. And that's one reason we have SROs, right? Because the SRO builds a relationship within the school with the students.
But we don't have SROs.
Well, some do. Kaiser still does. Salem doesn't. So it all depends on the agency. But if you get a regular, patrol officer in there, especially someone who just came off graveyard or whatever, their mentality, their approach to it's going to be totally different. And it could be a negative thing eventually.
Right.
Not that they're jerks or anything, but it's just they're not used to that school climate, clientele. So, yeah.
So what would you say? How do you think then? Because I sit on the public safety committee, and one of the hot topics, right? Chief Womack and Sheriff Hunter have done an amazing job with the gun violence, but 90% of the gun violence that's happening in Marion County is youth, right? So with the removal of the SROs from 90% of the schools in the county, and with threat assessment, like how is it that we're where we're at with the amount of violence with the youth? We just had the recent shooting from South Salem High School, right? They just walked right down to the park and did what they did. How do we as a community support what?
Changing the climate.
Well, I mean, maybe.
And that's what we have to do.
Yeah, so like we're in this predicament, right? And how do we get solution, right? How do we come up with real answers rather than a lot of the stuff that is going on is just, political nonsense instead of like actually really trying to do something about the problem. And we have a significant problem.
And, as far as the threat assessment is involved, John's went and spoken to the legislature and all that, over the years, everything else, trying to get things moving. Our team specifically, we don't try to worry about the politics because we can't, us in our position, can't do a whole lot with it. So all we can try to do is identify these students that are possibly posing a threat. Like you mentioned the South Salem one, I was part of that one. It's unfortunate. There are times where either the student's not in school to get identified, right? They have to be there in the first place for staff to identify something's wrong here. Something's going on. When they get to that degree, like the Bush Park one and all that, the student's never there. So how can we identify that? That's the big question. And we can't. It's just, that's unfortunate. So we just try to work with the ones that we know we can try to help and everything else. And that's the best we can do.
Well, and it comes to building relationships,
It is.
And
It
so
is.
while that student may not be in there, that student might be friends with somebody that is in the school, and it's building those relationships with those kids that are there to have those kids come forward and say, hey, I don't want to be a snitch, but I'm hearing this is possibly going to happen between so-and-so or so-and-so is going to do this. And then that can get the ball rolling.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we get information several ways, right? One, it could be the student themselves that says, hey, I'm having some really bad thoughts here, and I've had them. where I don't know if you've heard of the burn book. Have you heard of a burn book? That's where they write down in a book like who's going to die and how they're going to die
Yeah.
and all that, right? And we get these students where they have some mental health issues and they recognize it finally and they come to us. The other one is teachers overhearing things, right? Or another student, maybe a targeted student coming and speaking up. The big one, where we get the most, and over the years I've noticed is we call it leakage. Some people like that word, some don't. They want to change it, but we don't know what to change it to. But what it is what you're exactly talking about. It's these students hearing things and then coming forward and speaking and reporting it. We get a lot that way. And when that happens, the first thing I tell the school is, go buy that kid a pizza,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So encourage that.
Encourage that behavior. All right. I had the par. I'll go. No, that's not where I want to go.
Go down the cart path.
Well,
All right, we
I'll
got
have a
you.
shot.
We got you.
Leaked a little right, but it's okay.
Yep. Almost to the bunker, but
That's it.
We're good.
You got a nice flat spot there to hit from.
yeah.
Nice ball.
There we go.
That's pounded. Good shot,
There you go.
Josh.
Good one. Yeah, so people, when they tee up the ball, they line their little
Yeah.
marker or whatever up to it. Don't put the ball up here.
Yeah, I line it up
There
usually
you go.
about right there.
Okay, yep.
Yesterday, I struck the ball really well with the driver. So, we had kind of an interesting point, and Josh brought it up there, but specifically SROs,
Right.
They were removed for the most part from Salem, well, they were removed completely from Salem-Keizer School District several years ago. And then we have a liaison that's not necessarily an SRO with Keizer PD.
It's still part of the threat assessment
That's still
team.
part of the threat assessment team, but we don't have the officers in the schools to develop those relationships. Should be
right in here. So, it is an interesting point, and there's a lot to that we don't have a say on or anything else.
Right.
But what we saw in threat assessment was, so I joined WSD. Who was it? 20. I retired in 19. It's been 20, the end of 20, right? And the person that was there before me averaged about 30 level 2 threat assessments a year. They removed SROs. I averaged 90 to 110. That tells you something.
Yeah,
That tells you a lot. And it was just that connection was gone.
right. And and there's probably a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons is that a lot of people complained about the school resource officers being in the schools because they thought it built a pipeline to the prison system.
There's no such thing.
There is no such thing.
Right.
In fact, that's the complete opposite of what the SRO's mission was in the schools.
So I was an SRO for 5 years at McNary. And to this day, I have who were students when I was there, see me, come up to me, and are introducing me to their kids. And these are the students that had problems, issues throughout school. And my door was always open, and it was just, if they want to come in and just sit and say nothing, I was good with that. If they want to vent to me about stuff, I was good with that. But it gave them what we had talked about earlier, that one positive connection within the school,
Right.
right? And they don't have that now unless a teacher's able to do it.
And there are a lot of great
administration.
teachers that make connections, but it's a different connection between law enforcement.
And teachers are overwhelmed.
Right.
I mean, it's a fact of life.
Okay, I'm right up in here someplace.
Yeah, we're still a good ways away. You see it?
Not yet. I might be.
I saw this long grass. I saw it hit right behind the long grass, I thought. But I'm old, my eyes are terrible.
I got it right here.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Nice shot, Roddy. That'll be nice. Good bounce, too.
I was just praying and hoping that I wouldn't hit Josh's cart. Good ball. Got some nice roll. When Josh squares the club up and hits it,
Good long hitter.
he can hit it a long ways. Especially when he gets that foot through, like he does the walk-through thing.
Oh, yeah. Like Schiffler.
He's more than shuffler. I mean, that was a little shufflerish, but
Oh, sit.
that's all right.
That's all right.
No, he gets that sweeping.
Yeah.
It's almost like a quarterback or a pitcher throwing the ball and letting his leg come through.
Yeah, I never went to all the hearings and all that. They had meetings and everything else about the SROs and everything else, and I just
It's
sad.
It's
It's sad.
unfortunate because, yeah, you know, the unfortunate thing is that SROs had a job of investigating crimes that occurred within schools, and then taking the appropriate action with that, and sometimes that resulted in
Involved.
kids going to juvenile detention, and
Right.
And in some cases were, you know, being incarcerated at McLaren or one of the other juvenile facilities. We're gonna have to switch that battery.
oh, okay.
Battery, oops.
Wrong one. Let's see, who's who here? What do we got? That's
You-
the hunter marker right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you got your rangefinder?
Yeah.
With this wind, it's going to be one of two clubs. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking 38. Yeah.
Battery on this thing. Battery. Right in the middle of a conversation, too. Yeah.
That's me. Yeah, that wind's really kicking, isn't it? Try it a little bit lower.
111.
111, okay.
130. Yeah, 111.
Kind of just go for center of the green.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be putting.
What's that other ball up there? See that other ball?
Josh just threw it over there. It was laying out there in the fairway or in the rough. $100, but it's playing.
Are you looking at the, it's got slope on it. You're looking at the, yeah, it's pretty close. 101, 102.
Playing a little higher, a little longer.
Yeah. Keep it down a little bit if you can. It's coming around.
Oh, not as much as I was hoping. That's long.
Well, I was shooting for 80 yards. Kind of 80 yards is my go-to wedge. Just a little shy.
Well, I was thinking that was gonna play like 110. So it was like, take a little bit off of a pitching wedge instead of trying to really muscle it. A gap wedge?
We probably should have looked at this because this thing does wind too. But like
Hey, we just want to give a quick little shout out to one of our sponsors, Rain Sweater. It's not quite raining yet, it might rain today, so the film crew, we're at least in our rain sweaters. Nobody else is, I don't know why. It's great, we're warm, it's a good day. Go back to the golf.
Show me the logo.
What?
Give me the logo.
Oh shoot, I thought the logo was
Nah.
over there. There it is, it's right there. Almost forgot to say, use the code COPS and check out at Rain Sweater. You get like $10 off your rain sweater. So, the link is in the description of the video. Go get yourself a rain sweater. They're amazing.
there you go.
That's the way to get a birdie. Thank you. Puts me at even par. Makes up for that one I missed on the last one. Please tell me you got that on camera.
I was wondering that. Okay.
Oh, you guys are falling asleep back there.
Get up. That was a line though. Man.
You know, it's just the first chip in that we've had since the opening episode with Josh. And you guys are back there taking care of business and filming other things instead of
Drinking
what's
coffee
important
and
here is
slacking.
us holing out chips off the green.
Is that yours?
Yeah, it's so hard to find good help these days with you guys.
Yeah, well, you guys are back there making sure that
You get paid so much to do this work for us.
Yeah. Well, you're back there making sure that people that sponsor us are taken care of. Rodney's over here chipping in.
Good putt. Oh, I good putted you.
That's two. Yeah, you spoke too soon, Rodney. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you also missed Josh almost holing one out from, what, 70 yards.
Oh! It's the hole. The greenskeeper's like evil today.
Oh. It's a great par, Josh. All that means you're going to chip in on the next one for Eagle. Yeah, our very first episode, we were on number one, and Josh was long on the second shot behind the green and had to hit out of the garbage.
Uh-huh.
And he barely got it out, and then he chips in for birdie. All set.
That is my first hole in ever in my entire life.
Oh, I'm gonna let you take it out of the cup then. Wow.
Well,
It was great.
however you get there. Doesn't have to be pretty.
What's funny is when we've been playing, or like out here, our scores aren't necessarily usually good because we're focused on everything else rather than our golf game. So.
Yep.
Oh,
But then there's those days where it just kind of clicks.
so our camera shut off earlier, so who knows how much of that conversation got caught, but we were talking about SROs being in the school
Yeah.
and then doing their job, which is, connecting with kids, but it's also there to investigate crimes. And unfortunately, sometimes those crimes lead to the SRO arresting a student and taking them to JDH or taking them to, or ultimately they get convicted of a major crime and they end up going to McLaren.
Right.
And it's,
But it doesn't mean it has to be. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate it gets to that point, right? But I had a lot, lesser crimes, not where they went to McLaren or anything else, where, I'd either write them a ticket, right? Or they'd have to go to JDA, something like that. But it's the follow-up after that, right? And I still had kids that I arrested for whatever reason that would still come talk to me. So it's all in how it's handled by the SRO. And that's where police departments, need to be critical about who they put in the schools. That's going to be a positive influence, a positive interaction, and all that. So,
right. I mean, there's a lot of national media attention, that when you have an officer that does something and it goes the wrong way,
right.
you get all the negative stuff. The unfortunate thing is the media does not portray the positives that come from interactions through officers being SROs in the school, to officers volunteering to be coaches on the football field, basketball court, volleyball courts, golf teams, wherever, and they have those positive interactions. And I mean, I can't count how many times I had kids that I coached as when they were young, in that, 5th, 6th, 7th grade age frame, that when they got to high school were coming to me and saying, hey, this is what's going on.
Yep.
This isn't right. This isn't what you taught us. Can you help?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one that has those interactions with kids.
Oh, yeah.
You had them. Chief Copeland, with Kaiser PD, has them all the time with kids.
Yep.
And he's not even on the road anymore.
Right.
So I want to call it a falsity that having police officers in the school is a bad thing.
Right.
I think it's a great thing for many reasons.
And it's kind of like, unfortunately, a lot of the schools don't have SROs now, but Kaiser still does. So we still have that opportunity there. If we do a threat assessment or something, whether it's a level 1 or a level 2, where they can interact with them and build those positive relationships. And I think, like you were talking about the media and what's put out there, that's a small percentage of the contacts that those SROs have, or any police officer has. So it's very unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah.
I started the lead program with Paige.
Oh, Clarkson?
Yeah, in 2017. Now with House Bill 4002 and the recriminalization, which I fought hard along with a lot of other people to make happen. I have the lead contract in a couple of counties, and that was a sheriff from Deschutes County that I have a contract. So we're trying to get some things going.
I see.
We all roll?
I see one down there, maybe two.
I just didn't know how far I caught of a roll.
Well, there's two. Let's see what that one is. What are you hitting?
I'm hitting one of these Callaways.
Okay.
They say cops and convicts on it.
Okay.
Now he decides to jump. You know why the whole time Bryce would ride with me? Because he doesn't like me. So I want this on record that as soon as I get out of a cart where I'm riding all by myself with no camera, and Rodney, he jumps in with Rodney. I thought we had good history. We've been to Costa Rica. We've been around the world in some serious, dangerous places together. And what does he choose to do? When somebody else is alone in the cart, then he wants to ride film. That's Bryce Funk for you. Oh, don't worry. I didn't get to say it to your face, but it's all on camera. Good. Good. I hope it causes you to not sleep well at night.
I already don't sleep well.
I have no idea where my ball went. Not far. If
Down
that
in
helps.
the little
Oh,
gully.
down the gully. Perfect.
Back-to-back birdies wasn't meant to be.
Gave it too much credit on that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
First one scared me. Okay.
I almost want to try that putt again. I want to try putting with yours one of these days. It'll be like any other club or putter that you use. The first couple times you hit it, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get it, you're
So as you put the cash down,
Yep.
something happens to it.
Mysteriously, yep.
Yeah.
What made you get into the whole threat assessment thing?
Well, I was, like I said, I told Ronnie, you're clear. It all started back in 2000 when I was an SRO at McNary. And so I was part of the original team. And I was on it then 5 years, 6 years. And then I moved on to other stuff. But when I retired in 2019, I got a phone call out of the blue from Willamette ESD. Because there's one other person on the threat assessment team there that was part of the original team. And she just called me out of the blue and asked if I wanted a job. So that's when I started doing it with the ESD. And we had 21 districts. We covered Marion, Polk, and Yamhill County. So a lot of schools.
A lot of schools.
Yeah. So did that for, God, how long did I do that? 4 years, I think? And I just retired from there the end of last year for certain reasons. So, yeah. Been there ever since.
Draw!
No, you kept it down though. That's good. Yeah, you're all right.
Wow, that's short.
Just right in front. That's all right. That wind is hammering. Push it. Come on. It died.
Kick left.
It did a little bit.
I saw
So
you
right
on
when I hit
here.
it, the wind died.
So what would you say? Well, I mean, right, I'm really solution. Like, what are some solutions, right?
Yeah.
Because so I'm the senior director for a national organization in the substance use disorder arena.
Okay.
And so for a company called Ideal Options, so medication assisted treatment, we're the leading in the nation on the fight against the opioid epidemic. So we service kids all the way down to the age of 14 here in the state of Oregon.
Okay.
And so I want to talk about solutions, right? So ideas to fix things. So I think that, I would love to hear from you some of the ideas around like what we can do to, I mean, it's a serious issue
it is.
that
It
we
is.
have going on.
And it's been that way for years, right? It would not hurt and I can give you the contact number, to get in contact with Courtney McCartney.
Okay.
She runs the Salem team. And she'd just be someone good to sit down and talk to and put your program in the repertoire for what we can suggest. Because that's all we can do. We can't tell kids what to do. We can't tell parents what to do. We kind of have some control over the schools a little bit, but not much. But we're just consultants is all we are. We have no leverage or anything else. But the more resources we have available to us out there, the better it is.
Absolutely. It's like a bigger toolbox.
Right now, we work a lot with, Marion County Mental Health, Polk County Mental Health, Yamo County Mental Health, and they have drug stuff, counselors in there and all that stuff. But something specific like that might even be more beneficial. Who knows?
So Marion County, one of the things, I know Marion and Polk and Yamhill. I know the directors of all three of those programs. I worked for the county for 5 years in that field. So they have action at the same services that my organization offers. I think there needs to be, so from an outsider looking in, I would imagine that if we were to take a poll of people that, watch these, nobody would have any idea that you guys even exist.
I agree.
Right? So that creates its own problems because education is knowledge is power, right?
Right.
And so when you start putting the education of like you guys existing in the atmosphere, and make that as information that's available, I would imagine that you could end up with more calls from, concerned parents or concerned neighbors or, whatever that may look like, because they then now know that there's a resource.
Right.
Right. Because I know one of the things that was brought up on a regular basis with the incident at
Bush Park
that we were talking about earlier is everybody says, well, how come we didn't know? How did this happen? How did we get there? Why was there not anything done? And it's a lot of the push gets put on your guys' team, on City of Salem Police Department, right? The counselors, the guidance counselors, the education, all of that stuff. And it's like,
but we can't do anything if we don't know.
Correct. And so I think that would be a cool thing. Obviously we're going to be able to get the information out there,
right?
With what we're doing, but
one of the big battles is, especially Salem, if you've seen over the years, we've seen it over the years, is the gang culture coming in, and it's everywhere, right? You can go to some of our small towns, Independence, for instance. They have a lot of gang members in there. When we're trying to deal with that group, that culture, it's hard to get information. 100%. It's really hard. And so we've talked about on our team, we need a gang person, someone that can go in and try to talk to these kids. And we've got one person who works for Salem Kaiser that we've leaned on to do that. But a lot of you brought up earlier, the gun violence and all that stuff, and the Bush Park one, it's all that culture. And it's a hard one to crack at times. So I think having more resources around that, we might be able to do more.
I just brought up to the sheriff 2 days ago, and then again yesterday in conversation. So I was telling you, I started the LEAD program with Paige. That's how Rodney and I met. I brought up creating the same thing for our youth because, guys like me that come from that culture, and have a different life today, we can talk to the youth. We can, right? Like all of these little kids that are running around, like I did time with most of their big homies, and the people that they look up to as whatever,
right?
Like I did time with, and so having an opportunity to be able to create a program like that would be a huge resource to your team to hopefully we can get SROs back in the schools, and be a youth resource for the school counselors, for whatever, we have the crazy thing that I brought up in a meeting 2 days ago. The crazy thing is that we have the resources.
Right.
It's just
the people. We have
putting
the people.
them together, right? Like Bridgeway Recovery Services has one of the best youth substance abuse treatment programs in the nation, right here in our county.
Yep.
And it's underutilized, right? We have the resources, we have the community partners to put together. It's just actually doing it,
Right. And the big thing, one of the things, you know, when we talked about it in our team, the gang outreach is kind of what we're looking at.
Yep.
We don't want gang enforcement. We don't want a gang task force. We don't want that because that's the wrong view, really. So what you're talking about is a gang resource.
Right.
You know, somebody, I can't talk to one of those kiddos the way you could, right? And Rodney couldn't because we come from a different place. So, and there are the folks out there that are able to do that. And there was one gentleman, I forget his name, he was with Bridgeway, and he was one that we would use quite a bit years ago, but I think he's gone now. But he was a good resource, and he was somebody that just come down and sit and talk truth to the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what are you doing? What do you want? What, you know, all that. And the big thing we found in the threat assessment when we're dealing with that group is the parents, right? The parents don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So how do we support the parents, right? Because it all ties together.
Yeah.
Everything ties, the community ties together, you know, where these kids live even, you know, all kinds of stuff. So it is, I agree. And our team has talked about it. We've asked for it. We've encouraged it, and we have certain people that we can go to, but their time is strapped too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, I think it's
So-
pretty cool that, you know, that Rodney wanted to put this together and stuff because it's something that's actually a current conversation that's going on. Because I threw my hat in the ring. I will gladly create and put together the team to run and facilitate that opportunity.
Oh, we got somebody behind us.
Already?
We want to let him hit up? Might as well. I can put you in contact with Courtney, and you guys can talk about the resources you have available and all that, and how that might even be able to benefit the team itself, right?
Yeah. So what I want to put together is the lead program is navigators, right? So basically like a mentor program.
Yeah. And we're looking for mentors.
That can go
We
out
are.
and connect. There's some hoops to jump through, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like my CJIS clearance, I'm not passing no CJIS background, right? Which creates some dynamics for schools,
Right.
Because of the fact that
Having
I've been to prison, extensive criminal history, all of that fun jazz. But
But a lot
guys
of-
like me are the ones that are able to get through.
but a lot of our resources and stuff don't even step foot in the school. So, it's a
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and put it on through. Let's jump right.
oh,
All right. Hey, thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Cops and Convicts. I want to really thank our guest for coming on and talking about what really is a hot ticket topic right now, especially in our county with shootings and everything with juveniles being at the rate and the height that they are right now. So thank you so much for helping us. And there's going to be some links in the bio if you guys are interested in getting more information or reaching out. There will be a link if you know a juvenile, a young man or woman that is struggling, and there could possibly be something that is going to happen. Please reach out. Better safe than sorry, especially in the time that we live today. Our kids need help. So if we can offer it, let's get it to them.
Yeah, well said. And yeah, thanks again, Dan, for coming on and playing with us. And we appreciate our viewers and our sponsors. A shout out to Creekside and Danny Moore, our sponsors, Rain Sweater. And again, if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about in the future, please leave us a comment in the comments section. Until next time.